and welcome to episode 111 of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I am your host, John Machonsky, and with us, as always, is Michael.
Aloha.
But we are not alone this week.
What?
This has been...
Is there someone inside your house?
No, well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to check on that right now. The window breaking, the sound of my animals freaking out, that's not important right now. What is important is that we finally get to the much-anticipated guest that we have talked about for quite a bit, Pannenkoek2012. Pannen, how are you doing?
I am good. I didn't know you were talking about me before this.
No, yeah, I mean, you're the guest. You're the much-anticipated guest. We've been talking about, I messaged you a couple weeks ago, and I've been, we've been hyping it up. We're ready to talk to you, dude. It's exciting.
Oh, yeah, you had to, reschedule it.
Yeah, no, some stuff happened at work, and I was like, I can't. It's a mess. But, no, yeah, we're really happy to have you on, From, just to speak personally, I am a fan of your videos. I've watched quite a few of them. I'm personally a fan of speedruns and challenge mode things for video games and the like, so it's neat to see something as interesting as your low A-press runs here and all the other stuff that you're just digging into the code of Mario 64. It's really interesting. So, thanks a bunch for what you do.
Yeah, no problem. It's Super Mario 64 is my favorite game, so after I beat it, the programmers didn't intend for you to do anything else after you collected all 120 stars, so you kind of have to make up your own challenges if you want to keep playing the game for fun. So the A button challenge is I dabbled in a couple different challenges, the no buttons run or the no button genre, and there was the coinless genre, which was basically completed before I came along, but there was one star that people didn't know if it was possible, and I managed to do it. But then that was just one star. But the A button challenge is is still an ongoing challenge, because we keep even to this day I'm finding new glitches. I'm specifically hunting for glitches for the A button challenge,
Wow.
Before I guess for speedrunning, a lot of glitches aren't considered because they just don't add any speed to the game. In the 0 star, and the current fastest way to beat the game is to get 0 stars. You don't even enter any courses. So, glitches that happen in courses, people would never even, really look into it because it wouldn't be useful. But the cool thing about the A button challenge is, you can basically... a glitch from anywhere in the game could be useful, so it gives an incentive to look into the game and try to break it in any way possible to see if it'll help.
Yeah, that's really interesting to hear. So Michael, do you think it'd be a good idea to just get into it?
Yeah, sure. There's one thing that I wanted to ask you that you mentioned at the beginning, that you have been kind of doing this for a set period of time, and after other people had started. How long have you been playing since you first beat it and whatnot? How long have you been just playing Super Mario 64? How long have you had that game?
Let's see. My brother, I have an older brother, and it was actually him who got the game, and I think I would just watch him play it every day. So, people always ask you, what's your first memory? My first memory occurs after I already knew all about Super Mario 64. I just, came into existence already knowing everything, because I just watched him play it so much.
Wow.
There was never a time where I didn't know, how, everything about it. So, I guess then because I would just play on my brother's file, and he had already beaten it. So, there's some things, the submarine in Dire Dire Docks that are only there at the beginning of the game. So, I never even knew about that because I was only playing on his finished file. So then one day he was like, well, why don't you beat the game for yourself so, you can have the experience too? And then I got really excited because I didn't even think about doing that. So after I beat the game, I was like, what else can I do? That was fun. So then I actually... I realized that the game keeps track of how many coins you collected. That was basically the first in-game challenge I did was to collect the maximum possible number of coins in every course. And I didn't know the maximum number, so I went online and I found a website, I think sm64.org, and it was like my Bible for the game. Like, it listed every enemy, every coin, and like I learned a lot about the game from that website. Like, I'd go on the web, like in the computer. We didn't have laptops back then, so I'd like go into the computer room, like memorize how many coins I was supposed to get in each place, then go back to my room and try to like do it. And I wasn't even very good at the game, so I wasn't good at the game at that point. So like actually just collecting all the coins was difficult for me. But like now I would be much better. So after, and it was on that website where I first learned about the A button challenge. There was like a page dedicated to the A button challenge, and I would look at it and I'd be like, oh, I bet I know which A buttons this guy, like, they pressed for this star. And I'd go back to my room and I'd try to match their records. So that was like the first challenge I did. And then after I collected all of the coins in every course, because I did finish that, I also read on the website that there were some courses where you could collect infinite coins because there were infinite coin glitches. And like, obviously the programmers didn't intend for this. So doing these infinite coin glitches is very tedious, and it takes like hours to, like, you have to do the same actions over and over. But like, I'm kind of a perfectionist. So, like, I really wanted to get the maximum score for the number of coins. But like, I wasn't very good at playing, like, because I was young and like my hand-eye coordination, like I wasn't very good at handling the controller as well.
Sure, yeah.
So like I'd play for hours, like mess up one thing after a couple hours, and then like fail the whole thing because you need to do it without messing up for hours to get the highest coin score. So eventually, after like a couple weeks, I think I gave up, and it wasn't until like a couple years later where I learned that we can play Super Mario 64 on our computers using an emulator, and that kind of opened up a whole new world for me, because then, like, where I had failed in the past because I couldn't play so consistently, the emulator gives you the tools to play like as slowly as you want with save states and loading.
Right.
So that was actually the first videos I made, was showing the highest number of coins you could get in each course. Because like I wanted to show that it could be done in theory, like so the whole world could know. And so then after I did that, I realized I could use the emulator to like look into things more precisely than I could on the Nintendo 64. So I started learning about these different glitches, and I made videos like documenting them because I wanted everyone to be able to understand them. Eventually, I got kind of like, just making glitch videos got kind of like boring for me because I wanted to like actually accomplish stuff. So that's when I started looking into these different challenges, and I took up the A button challenge because at that point I kind of knew so many glitches, and I was like, well, these records on the A button page, they don't incorporate any of these new modern glitches that like I figured out, and like I know exactly how they work now. So I set my mission to beat the game in as few A presses as possible, because that page hadn't been updated in years. So like I wanted an updated records page.
So you were pioneering the least A button presses, essentially.
Yeah, like I basically just became the hub of the A button challenge.
Definitely.
The savior of the A button.
Yes, spare the A button, spoil the Mario.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So here, should I do an audience question here, or do you want to keep going with the questions we came up with first?
Let's do the ones we did, and then we'll
Okay.
end with audience ones.
All right. I mean, we kind of answered like the how long you've been doing the challenges and why you've been doing Mario 64. So here's a question here. How much of your work with Mario 64 is a group effort? Like you mentioned that you you would use sm64.com if I'm remembering correctly to like you saw the A button challenge on that site already. But how often are you interacting with other people like right now? Like, are there other people that are, like also chipping away at at these challenges, or are you going it alone?
Let's see. Well, at first I was definitely going in alone. Like, I didn't know anyone else who was interested in the 8-button challenge. Well, of course, like on the 8-button page, it linked to some people's videos, but they had like finished years ago. So like, I don't think they were interested in it anymore. So I kind of just started making videos on my own. And over time, I noticed some people like would consistently comment on my videos, and they'd like suggest ideas. And occasionally they actually suggest something that I missed. And I'm like, oh, I should like start listening to this person more. So over time, like there are like 2 or 3 people that like I like really valued their opinions, because they actually seemed to know what they were talking about. Like, of course, there were like tons of comments, and most of them were like the same, like things I had tried in the beginning. But like, so it was like a very few number of people were like actually I considered like very good in terms of in terms of their skill and their insight into the game. So we started communicating on the YouTube inbox, which it actually is not a thing anymore. They got rid of it. But so it was me and these 2 people, and then a guy named Tyler Caney came along, and he was like another mastermind of the game. Like he was like, Tyler Caney's a programmer, and he brought these new skills to the table. Like, he could look into the game's code and like figure out exactly what calls are being made. So once they're like those 2 original people, Tyler Caney and me, I figured we need like a better place to communicate than the YouTube inbox. So we made like a Facebook page or a Facebook chat where we could all talk. And like to this day, we all communicate in that and like present ideas, talk about the way the game works. And over time, we've like added more people who have different skill sets. Like, some people are good at making ROM hacks. Some people are good at like pulling the game for like triangle coordinates and different things. So really, there's like a lot of different skill sets we all bring to the table. So my ability to just like talk to any one of them and ask them something and like figure out whose area of expertise I need is really like helping drive progress in the game forwards.
It's cool. That's really cool. It's interesting to see how a community will spring up around just about anything in games. Like, not to downplay your achievements, but like it's cool that something that was like so niche has become spread all around the internet. Like, people really love seeing this challenge, and like, I know from experience, like when I mentioned that I was going to have you on, I had a bunch of people just very excited to just, like, hear us pick your brain and know what's going on in the 8-button challenge up to the date. Like, people want to hear more about this. It's really cool. So Michael, do you want to ask the next question, or?
Sure. Giving an estimate, because I doubt you have a counter somewhere, how many hours do you think you have spent in Super Mario 64?
Oh, the whole game? Like, since the beginning of my life?
Yeah, yeah, it's just playing it, yeah.
Let's see. They say 10,000 hours makes you an expert in something, right? So let's see.
So it's probably well past that.
Yeah, maybe 20,000 hours.
There you go. Yeah, double it.
I've been playing it, like, first I played it on Nintendo 64, then I played it on an emulator, and then I've like taken breaks. Like, even when I'm not making videos, I'm like investigating different glitches, and I don't even know if I count like the time when I'm like walking between classes or like on a run and I'm thinking about the game of new exploits I could do. Like a lot of my mental capacity goes into just like thinking about what could I do next. Like, if I learn a new glitch, I can be like, where have I not been able to do something before, and maybe this new glitch can solve that problem. So like, I'm constantly reviewing like all the areas where something hasn't worked, and maybe I've learned something and now I know a way to get past it.
So is this like something that is still being kind of ripped apart, and are you still is the community still finding like new glitches in different areas like to this day?
Yeah, I've been like, when I'm not making A-Press videos, I'm like investigating glitches to see if I can find new exploits that will lead to new A-Press saves. And just a couple days ago, and even today, I'm like looking into some new like SM64 glitch technology. That, like, I actually have a secondary account where like I make videos of my progress during these findings. So like my most avid fans can follow along on that channel to see like what's going on like in my brain, like what I'm researching, what I'm testing, what the latest findings are. And then, like, once an A-Press is definitively saved, then I'll make, like, a very polished video and then put that on my main channel.
Okay. That's interesting. Here's another question here from us. Have you participated in any other challenge runs or speed runs for other games, or is Mario 64 your one game, your expertise? Have you dipped your toes anywhere else?
I do have a couple like games that are my favorite, like Luigi's Mansion, Halo 2, and Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so like I kind of do everything I like. And if I really like a game, I'll do as much as I can with it. Like, are you familiar with those games?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like in Luigi's Mansion, I found like a guide online that listed every piece of money. So, like, I went through the game, and I got every piece. Like, I got the perfect money score. Like, 142,390,000. I still remember it. Like in Halo 2, I'd, like, look online, find all the glitches, get the scarab guns. Like, I did as much, like, get all the skulls. I did as much as I could. And same thing with Super Smash Bros. Melee. But I guess the difference with Super Mario 64 is that it was like the first game that I got on an emulator. So like my ability to test things consistently and like being able to look into the game, like see the internal variables, was just like it excelled above the others. So I just started only playing it and like really focusing on it. And then once it got way past the other games, it's like, well, like when you know so much about Super Mario 64, it's like you are able to learn even more about it because you can put everything you know together to like think of glitches in new and interesting ways that someone who didn't know about the game wouldn't. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling like spiral of glitch knowledge and inquiry.
It's like being plugged into the Matrix finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you start, you just can't stop. It's Pringles and Mario 64.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one is a question that's like, I don't know, like a lot of people have been asking you about like A-Press stuff, but there were some other videos of yours that I really enjoy. Your Mystery Goomba videos.
Oh yeah.
And also the bounty, the $1,000 bounty that you put out. Do you have any updates on either of those at all, or no?
Let's see. So the Mystery Goomba is a Goomba who spawns. The programmer has like placed the spawner incorrectly, so he spawns on the bottom of the course for 1 frame. And at first I didn't know what he was, but then eventually we figured out that that's what it was. And people really wanted me to kill him, and there's just no way to do it as far as we know. So I even made a video like showing like possible ways. And I mean, a lot of things people are like I get tons of comments asking me, like every time I post a new video of like some glitch someone's never seen before, there'll be a comment saying, "Can we use this to kill the Mystery Goomba? Can we use this to kill the Mystery Goomba?" Like it'll be something not related to the Mystery Goomba at all, or that course, or like anything helpful, and still someone will be like, "Hey, can this be used to kill the Mystery Goomba?" So like, I kind of like just seeing a comment like that now. I'm like, ugh, like I kind of wanted to be past that. Eventually,
Sure.
I think I'll go back. Like a lot of the things people suggest are like to hack the game, like hack
That's
the
not
Goomba
fair.
to be in like a spot where you can kill him. And it's like, well, yeah, that would work, but like that's like if we allow hacks, then killing him is fairly easy. But that's not really like the goal was to kill him legitimately. And as far as I know, there's still currently no way to do that.
Yeah, it's not sporting if you're just gonna pop him up right there. You know, it's no fun in that. But how about that bounty video? Have you gotten any information about that at all?
Let's see. I've gotten so many like suggestions about very similar things. Like there's a bomb that runs under Mario during the glitch, and so many comments are like, maybe it has something to do with the bomb. And like even objectively, a comment like that doesn't help at all. Like I didn't. The bounty isn't for information about the glitch, because there's no real way to verify what information's true or false. The bounty is for an actual recreation, because that will be like definitive proof of what's going on. Because then we can look into the game's code to figure out what's going on. So like out of all the comments I've gotten, there was one comment that said if we flip a bit in Mario's height variable, it looks like the up warp. So Mario's height is a float, which means it's 4 bytes or 32 bits. So it consists of 32 numbers that are either 1 or 0. So I went into the game and I flipped each of them to see what effect it would have. And like some of them would make Mario go really low, some would make him go really high, some didn't have any effect. But there was one bit, and if you change it from a 1 to a 0, it looks almost exactly like the up warp. So there's prevailing theories that like a gamma ray got like shot from the sun into Dota T-Bag's game and like flipped that one bit.
Oh my god!
There's also
that's a good one.
There's suggestion that it was a hardware failure, like maybe his console just like messed up that one bit for that one frame. But still, there's some people who think it can be recreated, like legitimately, like it comes from an in-game bug. Because what Tyler Caney suggested is that if the game thought that Mario's float, or his height, which is a float, was an integer, and then it tried to decrement it, it would change the 1 to a 0, and then we would get that effect. But so right now, the leading theory is that a bit flipped, but we don't know, like. We don't even know if that's true, or if it is true, we don't know what caused it. Is it recreatable? Was it a hardware malfunction? Was it a gamma ray? So it's still up in the air, like what actually happened. And if anyone can like bring in definitive proof of the glitch happening, then they'll get $1,000 for it.
All right, there we go. All right, so let's start asking some audience questions here. We got If you want to send in questions normally to our podcast, please send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. But yeah, we got quite a few questions for you. Let's just start reading them. Michael, do you want to read this first one?
Sure. Actually, our first one came, I think, like the day we announced that you would be on, and actually
it's
came
our inbox champ.
No, this one came from our email address.
Oh, our email, yes, that's right.
Podcast at Video Game Choo Choo. This comes in from Sabrina, and she asks, "What is Pannen? What is your thought process behind these awesome exploit videos, and how long does it usually take to make one from practicing in game to uploading?"
Let's see. Well, I mean, these videos are tool assisted, so it's not like I really need to practice to like make the video for the final run. Like these videos, when I make these videos, I'm using an emulator, so I can slow down the game. I use save states. I look at in-game memory addresses so that like I know what's going on, even when you can't really tell from just looking at the game. So, like, how long does it take? Well, it really varies on, like, the star itself. Like, sometimes we'll find an exploit that saves an A-press, and I'll be able to make the video in, like, the next couple days. There was one video, Mario Wings to the Sky, where I don't know if you've seen that one, but I have to...
Definitely.
I have to collect secrets in the sky without pressing A. Normally, you'd, like, shoot from a cannon to get that high, but since I'm not allowed to press A, I build a very elaborate Goomba staircase to get up there. So, like, the planning for that, like, originally, like, the Goomba cloning technology wasn't so good. Like, building a Goomba staircase like that took an exponential number of Goombas, so it was just out of the question to do it. But eventually I figured out a trick so that it would become quadratic, and then it became much more reasonable. And so it was actually over like a 9-month span that I tested like all the like how the steepness of the staircase, how many Goombas I would need, how far apart they should be. So it was like over a 9-month span where I planned everything, and then eventually I'm like, okay, I planned enough. I could have planned more. I was actually thinking of doing like a practice where I put all the Goombas into place using hacks just to make sure it worked. But I realized that would be like too much work. I might as well just go for it. And then it took like a week of tasking like 10 hours a day during that week to make it. And like I had so many Excel calculations, like keeping track of where every Goomba should be, where to place them, which ones had been bounced on. So that was like one of the biggest endeavors I've ever done, was to collect that star without pressing A.
All right.
That's intense.
I'll,
Goomba clone staircase is intense.
Definitely. I'll ask this next one. Our masked inbox champ, who sends in questions all the time. Here we go. Here's this question. If theoretically it's possible to have infinite parallel universes, does that mean that it's possible that there's a universe in which you have a video in which you do as many A presses as humanly possible?
Well, I'm not sure how serious this question is.
Not at all. There's
zero seriousness.
I mean, you could just spam A like forever and then collect a star. Like the maximum amount of A presses would be unbounded.
Yeah, there you go.
Our next question comes from Joshi207 on Tumblr, and he asks if you mentioned earlier that Tyler had a background in programming, and this guy wants to know if you have a background in programming or something along those lines that sort of prompted you to kind of get deeper into Mario 64.
Yeah, I actually do major in computer science. So
okay. That makes more sense now.
I think Tyler does too. I don't really remember, but he definitely has very good programming skills. So like, yeah, I major in computer science. I was also very good at math and physics in high school. So
you don't say.
So I think because like a lot of what I do, I have to like plan it out in Excel and keep track of a lot of things in Excel to like optimize my movement. And like planning the parallel universe route was a ton of Excel. Of course, like everything I know about parallel universes was from Tyler. Like he was the pioneer who figured it all out. And I was like in my video where I explain it, I was just rehashing like everything he's told me.
Wow.
So like Tyler is he's like the mastermind who figures out a bunch of stuff. Like So a bunch of the glitches I know, like I might see something and be like, I don't know why this happens, but I'd like to know why this happens because maybe I can abuse it somehow. So then I'll yell at Tyler, like, Tyler, figure this out. And then Tyler's like a very busy person, and like he has his own agenda of what he wants to look into. So like he adds it to his giant queue of stuff to look into, and eventually he'll like tell me what's going on, and then I can like use it somewhere. And sometimes he just like gives me these pieces of knowledge that I find really interesting, and I'll like make a short video about it on my secondary channel just so like everyone can know about it. Like, but eventually once I'm more sure of the information and like I've tested it more, then I'll make a video about it on my real channel, like on my main channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our next question is from Tumblr user Yokai Land. They ask, I mean, this is a question that I was going to ask too. When is your next main channel video coming? Do you have any estimates on that, or are you still just working on things?
So last semester, I actually, like, I was doing my A-Press investigations to see if I could save any A-Presses, And during that time, I learned about scuttlebug tricks to make them, in my last video, we had scuttlebug transportation to move them around,
right,
and scuttlebug grazing to move them up. So I basically there was a couple weeks span where I learned all about how scuttlebugs worked, and I mastered how to make them do what I wanted. And during that time, I figured out 7 improvements that need to be made. So after that, I knew of 7 main channel videos I'd have to make. But unfortunately, over the semester, I'm too busy to really focus on making extravagant videos for my main channel. That last video took over 100 hours to make.
Wow.
And I can't really get my head completely focused on it while I still have school. So once winter break happened, I really set out to try to get these 7 videos done. But it was actually a new idea of mine, because my fans, sometimes they're confused over what I'm doing in the video. And I always try to explain it as best I can in the description. So over time, I started adding visuals to the ends of videos, an explanation of what's going on. And some of my fans are oh, we like it when you commentate. So for this most recent wave of improvements, I thought I'd give it a shot, commentating the videos and making visuals, which was what I did in my last 2 videos, including the Watch for Rolling Rocks one, which is the video that went super popular. So over winter break, I had wanted to get these 7 videos done, but because commentating it and making these visuals took a lot longer than I expected and took a lot more effort, I only got through 2 videos. So I still have 5 more videos to make. And over the semester, which is now again, I can't really focus as much. So over spring break, which is in, I think, 4 weeks, then I can probably focus on making these videos again. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it again. So I might have to wait until summer until I can really crack down on it again.
Okay.
But during the semester, I'm not it's not I just don't play Super Mario 64. I use the semester when I don't have all that much free time to look into my I investigate all these little glitches. And like I said, even right now we're finding new technology. So for all we know, there could be more than the 5 videos left by the time my next break occurs.
More work to do.
I mean, that's more work for you, but honestly, I'm sure your fans are very excited to hear that there's more on the horizon. We kind of answered one of these questions, so here, I'll ask this one real quick, and then Michael, you can ask the last one.
Okay.
All right, Pannen, are you really working on a 0 press run, or was that a joke?
A 0? Oh.
Yeah, are you going to be able to make it a 0 plus run? Do you think that is possible?
Well, when we talk about the A button challenge, there are actually 2 different categories. There's the 100% version where we collect all of the stars and then beat the final Bowser, and then there's the any percent version where the only goal is to beat the final Bowser. And the 100%, after I make the next 5 improvements, I think will take 32 or 31, depending on whether you use Virtual Console or not. But the any percent is currently at 1. It takes 1 A press to beat the game.
Wow.
In it, you collect 70 stars, not all of the stars, just enough to unlock the final Bowser. So there's just 1 A press that, for the past over a year now, we used to be down to 10 A presses, and I'd get people telling me, "Oh, we're not going to save anymore. You're never going to save those last 10 A presses." And I was like, "No, we just gotta wait. I'm sure new glitches will come along." And then it was actually Tyler Caney who came along and found all these new glitches and showed me the ways of looking into the game's code, because I didn't really do that before Tyler came along. And then Tyler, in a month span, he found glitches that reduced it from 10 A presses to 1 A press. So it's just been that 1 A press, which is in Bowser in the Fire Sea. There's a pole you have to climb, and as anyone who's dabbled in the A button challenge can tell you, poles are our worst nightmare, because what you're supposed to do is jump off the top of the pole. And if you don't allow the A button, you really don't have a way to get off the top of the pole. all you can really do is drop off, and then you fall straight down. So there's a pole, and there's no way to get past it without A. And Tyler, who reduced it from 10 to 1, really wanted to save that last A press. And Tyler has told me he's looked at it from every angle. Like, sometimes I'll think of something, and I'll run it by Tyler, and he'll be like, oh yeah, I thought of that, I tested it, it didn't work, like, you're wasting your time. Like, So right now, we could beat the game in 1 A press, and I get comments saying, like, oh, you should make that run. But if we do save that A press, then that whole run would be outdated. And the thing is, making the full run is like a huge investment. Like, collecting certain stars is a huge investment. Like Mario Wings to the Sky, where I had to make that whole Goomba staircase. Like, I know that video will never be outdated because it's 0 A presses. But a run that's 1 A press, it could be outdated at any point. Like, we could spend like 1,000 hours on this run, and then we're like, oh wait, we saved the A press. Now we scrap all of that. So it's a really difficult decision to actually commit to making the final run because you don't know if it will be outdated. So like, I'm holding out, hoping that 1 A press will be saved somehow. And because if that actually gets to 0 A presses, then we know it'll never be outdated because you can't beat it in less than 0 A presses. Mm-hmm. So if that happens, then we could actually start the any percent A button challenge, knowing full well it will never be outdated. But until then, it's really a tough decision whether we should actually start it or keep waiting. And Tyler and I talked about it once, and we kind of settled on like a couple years or a year or a couple years after the final. Like, if there haven't been a couple of A press improvements for like a year or two, then maybe it'll be time to start it. But while the A button improvements are still coming out, it's like way too risky to start making that run.
All right.
Before we ask the last question, I thought of one. Has anyone from Nintendo or one of the original programmers or someone who worked on this game ever reached out to you? Because I would imagine if I had made this game and I saw someone bending it to their will like you guys do, I would want to talk. Has anyone ever reached out to you from Nintendo?
No, that's actually never happened. And I mean, I don't think Nintendo approves of tassing, so
yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
True.
So I don't know if I want them to contact me.
Yeah,
maybe I've been under the radar this whole time, and that's for the best.
Yeah, that might be. You would hope that they would look at that and appreciate that you clearly are spending quite a lot of time with one of their better games.
Well, I emailed Nintendo once asking for the source code to Super Mario 64.
Did they respond?
I think they said we can't give that to you at this time.
At this
time. It was a very formal rejection.
I bet.
Yeah.
If we had the source code, it would probably be a lot easier to look at the code because I've seen what Tyler does. He has to look at all these calls and put them together. He basically reconstructs the source code from the assembly code. But if we had the source code, it would save all of that trouble. Mm-hmm. So it would be a super valuable to us, especially since a lot of what we do is look into the game's code to see why certain things operate the way they do.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, I forgot to ask one question here. So we have 2 more, and then we're done. We're 100% done now once we do these last 2. Okay, so this is asked by Tumblr user Hotel Mario. He asks, do you know if any of these glitches or tricks work in the DS version of Mario 64?
Oh, that's actually a comment I get a lot, saying oh, can you do this in the DS version, or have you looked into the DS version? And I actually have played the DS version, and I glitch hunted in that for a while, but I'm pretty sure that the Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64 and Super Mario 64 on the Nintendo DS are basically 2 completely separate games. Just because a glitch happens in one, it won't necessarily happen in the other. And in most cases, they're 2 completely separate games. They have nothing to do with each other. But I mean, there are a couple glitches that occur in both of them. like holding Chuckya while he's light, or getting past the endless stairs before you have enough stars, but they're executed in two completely different ways. So just because they have the same like effect at the end doesn't mean that the underlying code of the game is handling it the same way. So I don't think like really any aspect of my skills in or knowledge in Super Mario 64 can be carried over into the DS version.
That's crazy.
That's interesting because I know that they just ported Ocarina of Time for the 3DS version. I know that has pretty much the same code. So that's interesting to hear that the DS version is like differently coded. But yeah, Michael, you want to read this last one?
The last question comes from, let's see if I can pronounce this, To Sposy for Mo.
Sure, let's go with that.
Yep. And he or she or they asks if you play modern video games, and if you do, what are your favorite ones? And you mentioned you played like Melee and Halo 2, and do you play anything more modern, or is it just, do you tend to stick to just the games you are really interested in?
Let's see. Yeah, I kind of just, I try to stick to Super Mario 64. I feel like the thing I like about Super Mario 64 is that I'm doing things that like really no one's ever done before. Like, because I sort of, like, no one's ever taken the A button challenge this far before. And, after the years of experience I have with Super Mario 64, like, I'm able to think of new glitches. And, like, I have expertise. Like, I know where all the in-game variables are. Like, from what Tyler's told me, I know so much about the in-game programming that, like I said before, it's like a self-perpetuating spiral of knowledge and glitch hunting. So, like, moving on to a more modern game, like, not only would I lose, like, all of the advantage I have, I also wouldn't have the emulator version. Like, I have the actual console version, and, like, it was having the emulator that really skyrocketed my Super Mario 64 experience, because I can make M64s that can be played back. I can look at the internal game variables. So, like, moving to an actual console game again, like, would kind of be like a step down. Like, so I wouldn't really, like, I still play games for fun, but like the way I play Super Mario 64 isn't so much like for the fun that the programmers intended. It's sort of pushing the game to its absolute limit in ways that no one could have foreseen, and like finding glitches to exploit the game as much as possible. So whether I'm going to do that in any other games, the answer is no. Like, I've really committed to Super Mario 64, and I really want to see how far I can push it. But like, I do play some other games. Like, let's see. Actually, my brother had been wanting me to play Majora's Mask, which isn't actually a new game, but like, it did deviate from my Super Mario 64. So like, he had been begging me to play it for years because he loved it. So over the summer, I took a break from Mario to play that, and I like that. Also, Braid is one of my favorite games on like the Xbox.
Yeah.
Whatever. So that would probably be like the most modern game that I really enjoyed. Okay. But like, as for whether I'm gonna like give up Mario for any other game, the answer would be no. Like, I'm really committed to this, and I want to take it as far as I can.
That's inspiring to hear. But no, thank you so much for being on the show, Penn, and it's been a real delight. Like, seriously, it's really great. Would you like to plug your channels, if you want?
Let's see. My main channel is Pannenkoek2012, and my secondary channel is Pannenkoek2012. They only differ in that the O and the E are swapped. Oh. So oftentimes people are like, "Whoa, your channel's different. Like, what's going on?" And one comment was said, "Where'd all your videos go?" But like, there's two separate channels. Like, they appeal to two different demographics. My main channel for everyone, I'm always very detailed in explaining glitches, and my secondary channel is for like those who want to be in the know on the latest glitches.
Right.
So like So like it's mainly for people who like are already familiar with the glitches and can keep up with what I'm actually doing. So I don't really advertise that channel because like it's not for everyone. A lot of people might think it's boring, which is okay. It's like it's not really meant to be entertaining. It's meant to be like a documentation of what's going on in the research.
Sure. All right. Well, yeah, we'll put links to that in the description so people can check that out. But yes, thank you again very much for being on the show. We're gonna get to talking to news in a minute, so we're gonna let you go, Pannenkoek, and we'll get right to it with me and Michael. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. We'll be right back.
Thanks for having me.
And we're back. Man, that was quite the interview.
I feel pathetic.
Yeah, like you just said while we were taking our break that never felt like you've ever played a game before.
I feel like I've never like scratched the surface of any video game now. I've only dabbled.
Truly.
I used to think it was cool that I had 100%ed Assassin's Creed 2, and now it's just yeah.
Yeah, you didn't 100% Assassin's Creed 2 without jumping in any hay.
Nope.
Let's see how you do it.
That would be cool.
We're getting inspired. Pannenkoek is making us all want to do our own challenges.
Civ 5, never settle a city.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Nico never get a cat.
Neko Atsume.
Yep.
Speed run, challenge mode, half a press run. But yeah, I guess we're just. Do you want to talk about what you've been playing? You should talk about because you played one thing that's pretty important right now. I haven't really been playing anything. I've been too busy. But what have you been playing, Michael?
Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition. I assume that's what you're talking about.
No, but if you want to talk about that, you can.
Not really. It's Sleeping Dogs. It's an older game, but it's the Xbox One version, so it looks pretty. I started playing. It actually started today, but it'll have ended or be about to end this Sunday when this comes out. The Homefront Revolution closed beta. I played a couple rounds of it earlier today, and I intend to play some more tonight and throughout the weekend. I probably won't be able to play it Sunday, but that's a game that if you had told me I would be playing today or this weekend, or that it still existed, I would still think you were a liar, even though it's supposed to come out in May. Because it was the game that was caught up with THQ, and then it was bought out by Crytek, but then co-published by Deep Silver, and then Crytek wanted to get rid of it because they're having debt troubles, so now Deep Silver is doing it. It's a long, long history. It's still in a beta. It's still unfinished. It's a little rough. I was telling you earlier that when it loaded up, like it went through all the logo treatments, and as soon as it hit the Crytek logo treatment, like the vertical syncing was off in the logo build. And that first little game of it I played, it's all online co-op multiplayer shooting. I'm pretty sure you're fighting against, on all three maps, it's one mode, and you're just fighting against AI. You can change it from easy to I think medium and harder in it. I just played on easy. It's a first-person shooter, but that first match just was it's real sluggish, like a lot of tearing in the video, which was really weird. But again, it's unfinished, so who's to say that that's how it'll be in May or not? It could have also been network issues because the very next game I played was much smoother and had fewer people in it. Each one seems to have about 4 or 5 people. I think 4. You're kind of like a squad of rebels trying to... The first one, it was just go to each different point and defend it. And we ended up all dying. I actually ran out of ammo really, really, really quickly. And I couldn't really find more ammo. In the second one, it was fewer people. And the second one felt more like what the game was supposed to feel like, I think. It was a little more sneaky. It was a bigger map. You're supposed to avoid enemies a little bit. Enemies have like patrols going down the street. They look real futuristic. It's supposed to be like an invaded United States, and I think it's North Korea that invades. Maybe it's China. And it's an occupied United States. So you kind of start to feel a little more like a rebel when you're kind of sneaking through buildings and like popping out. And you can throw grenades, but you can also throw hack grenades, which felt really weird. That I just threw a grenade at like a little, enemy vehicle or enemy mobile turret. You throw the grenade, it explodes, and then it popped my name above it, and then it started shooting the enemies, which was cool, but it was weird that I just threw a grenade at it instead of like a device.
Yeah.
And it's no mini game, no like, because I did it once, and I thought, okay, maybe it stunned it, and I can run up and hack it, and that wasn't the case. So I'm not too sure about it. I know it's supposed to have a single player. I have to imagine the multiplayer is more robust than this. You earn in-game currency, and you open boxes that gives you gear that you can put on your guy, who's customizable. So it's got a lot of neat little tricks in it. But I want to keep playing it. It seems interesting, but it doesn't seem like it'll stand out too much, which was kind of the problem with the first one, if I remember correctly.
All right.
But yeah, I'll keep playing it. I'll keep playing that beta, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's not surprising that a game that has been traded around as much as it has been is a bit rough,
Again, it's the beta, so I don't know how rough the final game will be. This is, it even says multiple times this is unfinished software. So, okay. But it just seems uninspired. It just like that first one. I remember I didn't play much of it. I played it. A friend of mine had it, and I played it. I just remember it being like, this is neat. Like, they could really go places with this. And maybe the single player has those places, but from what I've played, what little bit I've played in the multiplayer, it's just real plain. Real, I don't want to say mediocre, because it could end up being better, or especially if I dig in it more, but sure. Mediocre is what it seems like right now.
Okay. Alright, well, since I don't really have anything on my end, I guess we can go straight into news and then wrap this bad boy up.
Mm-hmm. No questions this week because they were all for Pannenkoek.
Yeah.
And I think we mentioned it before, but you can send questions for next week. Podcast at videogamechoochoo.com or videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/s.
Good job, Michael. Good job.
S.
Ask.
S.
Ask with a K.
/Mr. S.
No.
Mr. S.
No, you cannot send your questions to Mr. S.
I mean, you can. He might be confused. Like, why do people keep asking me about Video Game Choo Choo? And not Road Dogg or X-Pac?
We are not D-Generation X.
That was a promise that was made to me when I was hired here. Is that we would be D-Generation. I've been doing all these crotch chops. That's what I was going to go to E3 for.
The crotch chop.
Just go up everybody and crotch chop.
No, that's what you do at E3 anyway. You don't have to be a part of DX to do that.
Oh, good.
Why don't you do your news stuff first, because yours is bigger.
Okay. First one is all about Mad Catz.
Uh-oh.
So you may remember last year Mad Catz had, like, debt trouble?
Yes. They were pretty worried. They were in dire straits.
Mm-hmm.
And they put all of their, they put a bunch of their effort behind Rock Band 4.
Yes.
They were really hanging on that succeeding.
They co-published it. I know they provided all the instruments for it. Well, the other day they were having a planned fiscal briefing, I guess. I'm trying to think of the good word for earnings report. And this was planned for... what was it? It was like Tuesday. Mm-hmm. The day before, this is always a good sign. The day before, their CEO, their chairman, and their senior vice president of business affairs all resigned. In a press release, Mad Catz, was thankful for them, announced their replacements, and they all resigned. Now. Nice. On that day, I thought, well, hey, this is probably a good effort towards investors to say, hey, we're getting rid of not to say that they were bad, but we're getting rid of the old leadership. It's clearly not working. We're ready to move forward. Well, Then the next day they released their earnings report. And, well, not only did they release their earnings report, and though it did say that year to year their earnings were up 104, or their sales were up 114%, which was in part due to Rock Band 4, that they still weren't doing well, that they would be cutting 37% of their staff.
Jesus.
Which would save them about $5 million a year. So they cut a big chunk of their staff. Things look hopefully good for them. I think the next day, or maybe it was today, I don't remember. This week's a blur. But either today or yesterday, I saw that they released information about their Street Fighter V sticks. So hopefully that does well for them. But man,
it might. I mean, they've been trying to get those Street Fighter sticks out for a while. Like they've been talking about them for ages. Like the ones with Chun-Li on them. Like I mean, I know that like Mark Mann's been talking about that constantly because that's his thing. He does fighting games. So I'm guessing that the fighting game aspect of Mad Catz is still successful. If that doesn't seem to have had any hiccups. People are still buying their sticks, but I'm fairly sure that that's a very niche part of their what they do.
Rock Band didn't sell as well as they thought they would.
Absolutely. So because they had to focus on Rock Band, it was hard for them to make money.
Yeah. Fighting games, big tentpole fighting games don't come out every year, and Mortal Kombat X came out last year, but that's not really the game you think of for fight sticks. Games like Street Fighter are certainly fight stick games. That's the one. Yeah. Like, if you want to talk about the two fighting games, it's Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and I bet Street Fighter moves more sticks. So,
sure.
While Killer Instinct is out there kicking ass and doing well, it's Street Fighter. So, I'm sure they looked at Street Fighter V and somebody yelled "Hallelujah" really loudly in the hallways of Mad Catz.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope they can stick around, but those Rock Band instruments apparently weren't very good. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to do one, or do you want me to keep going?
Here, I'll talk about some Street Fighter stuff since you mentioned Street Fighter.
Segues.
Yeah. So
speaking of Street Fighter,
so some Street Fighter news has been coming out semi-recently. Mm-hmm. They talked about their DLC schedule a smidgen. First off, they confirmed that the first DLC character that is going to come out in March will be Alex.
Who?
From Street Fighter 3.
Oh, I didn't play.
Yeah, the guy with the blonde hair who's kind of, sort of like Hulk Hogan, except not racist.
I didn't. Street Fighter 3 is like my gap in those games.
Street Fighter 3 is my favorite Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah, right below 2 and 4 and probably 5. Sure.
I mean, I haven't played 5 yet extensively, so I couldn't say, but you pretty much listed them in order right there, yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, Alex is an interesting choice. People were really, really hoping that he'd come back, so that's good. Some art from the story mode has started coming out, so I'm going to guess that the next character will be Jury, because there's a bunch of art of her in the story mode. But we'll see. It could be anything. It could be anyone out of that's the 6 that they announced, which was if you recall, it was Alex, Ibuki, Jury, Guile, Balrog, and Urien. So hopefully they're each one is coming out per month for the rest of the year, except in June, because that's when they're going to put out the story mode update. And I guess challenge mode is going to come with Alex. And
will that be free, and then Alex is the DLC that you have to unlock?
Yes.
Or pay for?
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I'm gathering. But they also said that they're kind of aiming for Alex to be free in a way, because the way that they described it was that you would get enough fight money, like in-game currency, by playing through all the mini story modes to buy Alex.
Fight money is such a fucking good term.
It really is.
Fight money. Do you have enough fight money? Do you want to, hey, John, do you want to go play some Street Fighter and earn some fight money?
Hell yeah, I do. But yeah, they specifically said that they tuned it so playing through everyone's story mode will get you Alex for free.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. I wonder how much... That's, to me, the biggest question about this game is how easy or difficult or how much grinding will be involved to unlock that stuff.
Sure. And the other thing that they announced about Street Fighter V is that the PS3, PS4 backwards compatibility tech will work. So if you have a PS3 fight stick, it will work on PS4, and you can also use just any other PS3 controller. So if you have like a fight pad, if you just have a PS3 controller you want to use for some reason, it will work with Street Fighter V. And if you recall, that was originally coded for the PS4 version of Skullgirls by John Cowboy Bellamy, who I think he works at Naughty Dog.
If not, he used to.
Yeah, so that's interesting that so many hands are in this cookie pot. Like, I know that they originally did that for Skullgirls, but I know that they use it for other fighting games that appear on PS4 and PS3. So it's interesting to see that they're still using it.
It must work.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it does.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, your turn.
My turn. Rumors were confirmed.
Yes.
Some rumors were confirmed. Let's start with the one I find least interesting. Destiny 2 is not coming until 2017.
Uh-oh.
It was confirmed. Mad Catz isn't the only one doing earning reports right now. 'Tis the season. Both Ubisoft and Activision did some earning reports. This is kind of how we've learned some of this information. And Activision confirmed something that was reported originally by Kotaku and their sources. That Destiny 2 won't be coming out this year. It won't come out until 2017. I don't know if we were directly told or if we hinted at that it would be coming out this year. That seemed to be where the wind was prevailing up until that rumor last month. But it won't happen until next year. But this year, initially I want to say the rumors said nothing this year, that you would just get little stuff. But the rumor seems to point, or the Activision seems to say that there will be a large new expansion in 2016 to hold you over until 2017 in Destiny 2. So
Okay.
It makes sense development-wise because they did break out a team to say this is our events team, and this team will focus on, they're having a Valentine's Day event right now. They're to kind of focus on that stuff. I wonder if that team got a little bit more manpower, because I know Taken King sold incredibly well for them. Yeah. Like I want to say it was one of the largest DLCs ever. That I want to say it's 25 million sold through, something along those lines, a large amount. So releasing another expansion just makes sense. Make some money, keep milking this for what it's worth, and your main team is probably working on Destiny 2.
Right.
But Destiny 2 is the one that really has to come out.
Yeah.
That's gonna make or break that series for a lot of people.
I've heard a lot of people, even people who play Destiny, are basically saying, oh yeah, Destiny 2 needs to be good to really hook me. If it's not, then I'm done. Or there are a lot of people that want Destiny 2 to be good so that way they can get into Destiny.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, is like I have eyed Destiny on the store shelf before and just kind of went, nah. I have friends who played a lot of it and almost got me into it, but I can't. Yeah. It's an MMO. And I want something more than that. It's MMO-like, I should say. But speaking of rumors that were also confirmed, when was that? That was like...
It was a while ago.
When was this rumor? Let me load up the story that I wrote.
No, I wrote the one about the rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a date on. Okay, wow. A year ago.
Shit.
Oh, no. A month ago.
Almost a year ago.
Over a month ago. Again, it was started on a 4chan thread and eventually moved to Kotaku, who do have mysterious sources within Ubisoft, it seems, that Assassin's Creed would take off 2016. Mm-hmm.
Taking a break.
And Ubisoft came out today and said, yes.
That's true.
Assassin's Creed is taking off 2016. They said they were going to re-examine the franchise. They didn't say much more than that, and kind of what you say when you skip a year, that it would, it would take after AC Unity came out, and it was kind of lampooned. that they decided, let's put out this next one and skip a year. The rumor, they didn't confirm anything else. The rumor initially said that the next one will be in Egypt, and it is nicknamed Empire. So if that was all lumped together, so if that is all true, then the next one will be in Egypt. It'll be coming out probably next holiday. Also confirmed later in an earnings report. So that was confirmed through a blog post, and then they did their earnings report where they said that Watch Dogs 2, along with a handful of other games, will come out before April 2017, which is before the end of the next fiscal year. Which is a way to say to your investors, don't give up on us, please.
Yeah, we're not going to have Assassin's Creed, but we got the other big one that people bought a lot of.
Yeah, Watch Dogs 2. So they confirmed it would be before April 2017. I'm going to guess that comes out at the end of this year.
Yeah, that's going to take the Assassin's Creed slot.
Yeah, 100%. They also supposedly have a new AAA IP that was described as a strong digital live service offer. I don't know what those words mean. Yeah, well, I know what those words mean individually, but when you put them together in that order, I don't.
Excuse me, Ubisoft. Did you just have like a conniption while you were typing? And
strong digital, does that mean download only, or does that mean it just has an online service?
I feel like it might be an online thing.
Yeah, strong digital live service offer. So is it a subscription? I don't know. So,
weird.
Whatever that is, plus Watch Dogs 2, which, Watch Dogs 1, I didn't play it. Every now and again I see it for like less than $20, and I'm like, man, I should get that for like PS4.
I still really want to try the Wii U version of that game just to see what the fuck.
Great. Yep, let's do that. Let's just buy shit versions of games.
We have a freaking video series about bad games. Let's try it.
Well,
see if it's a train wreck.
Sure. That game apparently was about as mediocre as you can get, about middle of the line as you can get, from what I remember.
Yeah, no, like I have watched most of a Let's Play of that game, and I don't know, like there are some good ideas. It's one of those games that I might buy the sequel. Because, they need to flesh out what's good about that game. Take out the things that are bad.
Which is what happened with Assassin's Creed 1. Like, that first one is okay. But that second one, they get it all right. So hopefully... And when did that first one come out?
That was like 2013? No.
Watch Dogs.
Was it 2013 or 2014? Because it was right at the start of the generation.
Sorry.
It was 2013.
Sorry if that came in through the mic. 2014. May of 2014.
Okay, yeah.
So
that
it'll
was
be
like almost a launch title for those consoles.
Sure, yeah. It eventually came out for those consoles pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
the Wii U version was like a year later.
So yeah, that's about enough time. Yeah, the Wii U was later in that November. Oh no, it came out on everything. May 27th. Everything. PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Okay, so yeah, that was a next-gen title. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, then they have... It's set in San Francisco, I know that, so probably the hardest part was... Man, I wonder how different that game will be then. Like, just over 2 years development?
I don't know.
Did that game have DLC?
I think a little bit.
Yeah, because I wonder how long they've really been working on it and how big of a difference they can make. I guess we'll see. I don't know. That's crazy. It makes sense. It's about the time. It would be nice to not have either one be annualized and get some breathing room. Maybe other companies could take a note from that. Activision, EA. So, did you have another? You had another piece, didn't you?
Yes, I have one more bit of news, and this is also something that this is something that's a little rumored here. Let's see here. Titanfall 2 got announced in a way.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of. That game's not actually been officially announced, I think. I think it's just been confirmed.
There's some information popping up from a couple of different sources, but, we'll see what happens. First off, it was announced, kind of, to a Forbes, they were interviewing the game's writer, Jesse Stern, who said that the game is probably going to come out sometime in 2017.
Which has later been kind of unconfirmed, and people are now pointing towards 2016.
Well, no, I'm just seeing. I'll get to that.
Okay.
So it was mentioned that it was 2017, and there was also talk that there was going to be a Titanfall TV show, also written by Jesse Stern.
Great. Another sci-fi original.
Yeah, it's going to be real exciting. But the actual interesting bits here are that that Titanfall 2 will have an actual campaign mode instead of just drizzling information throughout the multiplayer, and B, it will not be Xbox One console exclusive. It will also come to PS4. And he
didn't confirm he didn't confirm anything else. He just said it won't be exclusive.
Yeah, he said all platforms. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's a PS4.
It'll be on PS4, but maybe the Nintendo console's coming out by then. We'll see.
Wii U Titanfall 2 confirmed.
I mean, no, but really, I mean, that would be too crazy for an Activision first-person shooter to come out on a Nintendo console.
Well, luckily it's an EA first-person shooter.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got me.
Yep.
I'm a fake gamer boy. Yeah, excuse me.
Stop showing off all that cleavage and wearing short skirts.
Yeah.
Always going to E3 dressed up like Misty.
Yeah,
I've seen those videos, those Twitch streams where you're leaning over a lot and bending over to pick up. I've seen them.
This is it's like Hotline Bling, but it's me instead.
Your life is Spring Breakers.
Yeah,
that's what you are.
But no, so I mean, I still wouldn't be too surprised about a launch first-person shooter attempt at because they tried to do that with Call of Duty on the Wii U, where they were like, let's see if there's an install base, and then there wasn't. But I could see them putting a version of that on the NX if it matches, if it's about the same as the PS4 and Xbox One. I don't think that would be too hard.
I bet EA would be more inclined, assuming the NX. Let's assume the NX comes out this year. I bet EA would be more inclined to put a Madden on there.
Sure.
Than a Titan. If they're already doing the work, they might as well put Titanfall in there and see what happens. But I wonder if they're willing to take that risk again. I wonder how willing any third party is to take that risk on Nintendo again. But I really want to see. I'm excited for it. I played a little bit of Titanfall 1, really enjoyed it, and I want a Titanfall 2.
Sure, but so yeah, you mentioned that there was some iffiness about the release date. That's because in a press release for some toys that are based on Titanfall, McFarlane Toys claimed that the game would release with the Titanfall 2 toys in the winter of this year. But recently, GameSpot and some other sites have reached out to EA, and EA said they're going to be releasing those toys in the winter, but we have not provided a release date for the game. So
I bet the writer meant that it would come out before April 2017. I bet he was told something along those lines, and he just remembers hearing 2017, and then I bet the target is the end of this year.
Sure.
Because they did 10 million users of that game were confirmed, so that's 10 million copies. I know that varied in price, they did all the DLC for free, but that's a lot of users. And even if that's only half of that actually paid full price, that's still quite a lot for a first-time IP. And that one of the things that writer revealed was the conditions that Respawn worked under and how limited they were when they were making Titanfall. Like, they were a startup. They only did multiplayer because of how many computers they had. They just couldn't do a single player. They just didn't have the resources. So that seems like a fall game to me. But do you put it? You can't put it up against Call of Duty. So where do you put it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like an easy fit for October to me. So.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
A little bit before Call of Duty.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Letting people breathe with it.
Sure.
If you really want to be an asshole, release it 2 weeks before Call of Duty, and then like the Monday before Call of Duty comes out, release like free DLC.
Yeah.
Just remind them.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
Yep. Sup, EA? You want to hire me? Tell you what to do.
There you go.
Hey, Vince Sampello, you want to screw those assholes over? I know that you do. I know that you do. I heard those firing stories.
God.
Escorted out by security.
Jeez.
Like he was gonna lead some revolt, and then they all left anyways.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that should do it for this episode.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks again to Pannenkoek for being on the show. We'll have links to his YouTube channels down below. But yeah, and also thanks everyone for sending in those great questions. You know, that was a really good time. But yeah, and thank you to Michael for being on.
Anytime. How about we do it again next week?
That sounds like an idea, but we'll see. We'll
And
see
then
how it turns.
let's do it the week after that. Hold on, let me look at my calendar. I got to see what my calendar says.
Yeah, let's see it.
All right, it says record podcast chooch, and it goes March, April. It ends in May for some reason. Probably because that was about a year ago when I put it back in. So May 5th is our last podcast.
Oh boy,
Cinco de Mayo is our last podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the final Cinco de Mayo. That's a preview.
You're gonna get wasted on Cinco de Mayo. I'll take control of everything. It'll just be me. You'll be asleep.
You just hear me like sleeping in the background.
Yeah, you'll just. Oh, there's Michael. How you doing, Michael?
Titanfall 2.
Yeah, you have like a feather on your nose that floats up and down as you.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks again so much for listening to this episode, and we'll see you next week with a normal episode of the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. And see you later.
Normal.
Yeah, normal. All right. Goodbye, everybody.